the celebration begin.
Stand if you want to, or you're willing, or you're able. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Do that again. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message. Yes, I'm getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Welcome to Unity in the Olympics, where it's always beautiful and friendly.
Wonderful. Thank you, Cindy. Good morning, everyone. Yes, what a beautiful day. And do you see what we have on the top of those mountains? Yeah. We have snow. And we can see the top of the mountain. And we can see the top of the mountain. I was watching the clouds roll away and saw the snow, and we just like, oh my gosh, it was just absolutely stunning. Beautiful, 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 yes. So good morning. And hang on just one second, I gotta turn the page here. My name is not Charles Lawson. Charles is supposed to be with us today, and we're going to ask you all, as we go through our service, to please keep both him and Pat in prayer. Pat has another little bone issue, fractured vertebrae or something like that, and she's at home. She's back at her place of residence, but we want to keep her in prayer, and we'll talk more about that later on. Huh? Is it on now? Okay, you're gonna have to turn me up, I guess. Am I there? Can you guys hear me okay? Is this on? I got the little microphone. This one? Okay, well, I got the little wireless on. Okay, all right, we're good. Have to be mic'd here, so, and my voice is kind of soft, so it's kind of nice. On behalf of Unity in the Olympics, I welcome you here today in this beautiful celebration service. And Reverend Eva McGinnis over here. Eva Joy is her real name. Eva Joy McGinnis will be serving as our prayer chaplain today. Thank you, Eva. And she will also be available after the service if you'd like a special prayer down the hall and to the first door on the left-hand side. And she will read you there after the service today. Our audio-visual team, of course, is this wonderful Merlin Fisher and Bill Evans, and with online Zoom assistance by Tim Best, who is in Missouri. Our ministry and music coordinator, B.A. Huffman, is on a plane, winging his way home at this moment. He's in Portugal, and so he will be with us next week, sharing the music and message. And so, and we also have back with us today our wonderful Cindy Akana, who came back last Sunday and brought us wonderful message and beautiful music. And so we also, because she does her own CDs, I'll tell you a little bit about that little table that's out there by the library at the end of the service today. Cindy is a singer-songwriter and has recorded 3 CDs of original songs. She also has 2 theological degrees and uses her training to inspire individuals and spiritual communities to live more freely, more boldly, and more lovingly. Cindy loves her day job where she teaches career-focused classes at an alternative high school. Hey, Cindy. In Seattle, but she especially enjoys her free time at her home in Anderson Island and playing on the water. So you like
Kayaking.
Oh, okay, kayaking, wonderful. And so welcome back Cindy, today. Great to see you being here. And you got to see the unveiling of the snow.
Beautiful.
Okay, we come especially welcome those of you joining us online. And you are, as we all are, in the right and perfect time and in the right and perfect place. And we appreciate all of you. Now for our ministry and music coordinator, Cindy Akana, we think will be back on us next week. Our declaration of faith. Now we use our first principle that we teach in unity as our declaration of faith. So if you'd like to say this with me. There is only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. And let us bless the children here in this place, here in our hearts, and throughout the world. And so if you'd like to bless, and don't forget, you have a little child in here. Because that part of you is grown up now, but is still a little child. So we'll bless that part of us and all the children out there. We love you. We bless you. We truly appreciate you just the way you are. And we behold the Christ in you.
So again, we're going to do release and breathe. We did this last week. So you'll join me in on the chorus, and then I'll do the verses. Release, release, release and breathe. When it does not serve you well, release, release, release and breathe. When it does not serve you well, let's do it again. Release, release, release and breathe. When it does not serve you well, release, release, release and breathe. When it does not serve you well, let go of the hatred that binds an open heart. It may not serve you well. Let go of the madness that rips people apart. It may not serve you well. Release, release, release and breathe. When it does not serve you well, release, release, release and breathe. When it does not serve you well, let go of the anguish that keeps you all alone. It may not serve you well. Let go of the smugness that turns a heart to stone. It may not serve you well. Release, release, release and breathe. When it does not serve you well, release, release, release and breathe. When it does not serve you well, does not serve, does not serve, does not serve you well. Yay!
Wonderful. What a great
Beautiful,
message
beautiful.
to start off with. Thank you, Cindy. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
It's a joyful time of year with a beautiful, beautiful nature where every leaf becomes a flower.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's center in our prayer this morning. Let us breathe together as we pray together, beginning with the inspirational message from Joshua. Quote, make every day a day of thanksgiving. In every day when you awaken, Take hold of that gift. Choose you who you will serve in that day. Will you serve the world that speaks of problems, that speaks that there could be threat of punishment or criticism or non-love? Or will you serve love? Will you serve the joy? Will you serve the light and bring that light into everything that you do? Choose in every day whom you will serve. End of quote. Divine creator of all that is, that lives in us in the oneness. Yes, we choose to serve the light, which fills us with divine love in every moment. We choose to behold goodness, wholeness, and grace, and we bring the light into everything we do and create. We choose to experience life in every day as a gift that we are forever unwrapping. We choose to accept abundant blessings of peace and prosperity in great, great gratitude. We choose to open our hearts and minds to divine love as our highest calling. We choose to serve the Christ in each other with enthusiastic joy. We choose to believe in oneness and make each day Thanksgiving Day. So be it. Let's take a deep breath and move into our Lord's Prayer. You may choose to join me or say a silent personal prayer during this time. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever.
Amen.
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 Now, the Daily Word. The Daily Word is a bi-monthly magazine published by Unity since 1924. It offers inspiration and practical teachings to people of all faiths through daily affirmation messages, prayer articles, and spiritual poetry. You can subscribe online at dailyword.com or purchase a physical copy here, located in the kitchen area of our church. The word for today is prosperity, and the affirmation is, with God as my source, I live abundantly. Let's say that together.
With God as my source, I live abundantly.
Yeah. No matter how much I have in the bank, the kind of car I drive, or the house I live in, I know these things are mere manifestations of abundance. The source of all prosperity is God. I look beyond appearances to find the deeper meaning of prosperity. Meaningful work that I enjoy doing is part of my prosperity. Not only because of what I earn, but also because of the satisfaction I feel when I use my skills and I'm in service to others. My house becomes a home when filled with people I love and care for. My financial resources don't diminish, but multiply when I share them generously. As I look beyond the good things in my life to the love, the creative insight, and the limitless flow of divine ideas that brought them into manifestation, I discover true abundance. Please join me in affirming this truth. With God as my source, I live abundantly. Let's say it again. Put your hand on your heart and really feel the abundance of all that you have, all that this Thanksgiving Day brings. With God as my source, I live abundantly. Thank you. Yes, our queen. Thank you. I turn it over to Cindy.
So I'm going to do what I did last week and kind of stand back here since I'm still on a staff. Although that little patch that we put on my neck last week, next day I was walking without my stick at all. I was like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. So we're going to start with a quiz because I'm a teacher, right? So it's not a hard quiz. I think most of you will have it, but what does a green traffic light mean? Go. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. What does a red traffic light mean? Stop. Now, this is the trick question. What does a yellow traffic light mean? See? Yeah. Some of you think it means slow down. Some of you think it means step on it, right? A little bit of confusion over that one. Yes. Yes, yes. Oh, we've got a scholar in the back. He's talking about how. There you go. Where the yellow light is actually just a signal to say, perhaps maybe you need to slow down if you're far back, or keep moving because you're too close to slam on your brakes. Yeah, but notice how we had different answers for that one though, okay? So as a teacher, I have to leave some room there, you know. But there's signals all over when we think about for out in the traffic, but the walking sign versus the stopping and the black flashing numbers to hurry it up, pick it up. I always say, how many seconds do I have? I can make this. And my partner's like, no, you cannot. Oh yeah, I can. Watch. You don't run. Yeah, but I can make this. Railroad crossings are fun. So when I get on my ferry in Stillicum, there's trains that go by all the time. So we have the red lights flashing, exciting, and you know that you're going to have to sit and wait. So that's exciting signals, right? You know that, yeah, you have to sit and wait. I think of even the warning flashing yellow lights when you're coming up on a curve or something that's really, sharp. So signals are everywhere helping us. And I'm going to go back and touch on just a little bit some of what I talked last week about emotions, because emotions are exactly that. They're also signals. That's what they are. They're telling us something about ourselves. They're telling us maybe what we don't like, what we do like, that we're afraid of something. What is it about it? But they are simply signals. But oh, so powerful they can be, right? Where sometimes they start to run and actually rule our life. Sometimes they motivate us to withdraw, to lash out, or freeze. So they're very connected to our behavior. So I don't want to slight them or to minimize them because they're not, but I do want to go back and keep saying is they are signals. So we do have power over them or power to do something with them. Now, one way to work through our deep emotions is participating in healthy communities. So that's what I'm talking about today, is cultivating emotional resilience through community. Now, I have 3 happy chickens, 3 happy hens. And at one point, I was down to 1. And then she wasn't so happy. She was actually very sad, and she started to actually crow almost like a rooster at times, and she was almost crying because we had some dogs had gotten into the pen, and it was not pretty. But the very next day, I'm looking on line or whatever to find out where I can get some more chickens, because it's I had heard chickens want to be in community. So I went out and I got 2 more chickens, and I lived in Renton, and you can only have 3 chickens or whatever, but you could, and no roosters. So I went out and got 2 more chickens and brought them back. And then within moments, she perked up and she was like, okay. Now it became who's the pecking order thing took over, but still it was this is fun, right? So yeah, it was such a difference. I thought, oh my gosh. And so I do the same thing. I like having 3 because if one passes away, you still have the 2 and they become best friends, even if they were the 2 that didn't like each other. Third one goes, the 2 of them are like, oh yeah, we're besties. We've been besties forever, right? And then if I'm down to 1, I'll go get 2 more chickens and introduce them. So, but I also think about horses. Horses like to be in community. You think about the wild horses, they're always in huge herds. So, and I grew up with horses, but we always had them around other horses. And sometimes I drive by where there's one horse and I'm like, that horse is lonely. I mean, I know it's more practical and stuff like that, but I just know they like to be in community. Dolphins too. You know, there's a lot of animals that prefer to be in community. Well, let me tell you, human beings as a species need to be in community. Now, there are some people that probably don't fit that. We have hermits and stuff that do maybe better than that. But whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, you still need some kind of community to be that your healthiest self. And I want to, just put that out there because that's what's so beautiful about things like the Unity churches, because it gives you a place to have a bigger community than just your family. And we may have work and stuff, but sometimes what happens in a church is not something that can happen at work, because you get to be yourself, right? So, as we witnessed during the coronavirus, there were quite a few people that really suffered during that were isolated. And we've had, even in the schools, they talk a lot about mental health as we come back to the classrooms, that there's a lot more stuff going around social emotional learning and mental health and having professionals on campus that can help with that. So I want to do this song called Faithfully, and then the song reflects a little bit on how others, we are God's hands and we are God's feet. And so we can sit there and we can pray, like, okay, I need this. But, what can you do to help others? And so this song is called Faithfully, on how really we can help others through hard stuff. Makes a big, big difference. Change screens. Changing screens means I have to remember, where something is. So, as I said last week, sometimes my songs start out kind of sad, but there's always a turning point to it. So, this is supposed to start out sad. Wrapped around her pillow, tears in her hands, a single mom with a dead-end job was never in her plans. And though the sun is shining through the window pane, a bitter dark from her tired heart is trying to block the rays. And she wonders how she'll make it, raising 3 kids alone. Feeling terrified, she sends out this prayer for hope. Faithfully, please stay with me and graciously give to me courage and strength to see this through. Faithfully, I'll wait on you and change my doubt to gratitude. And one day I'll look back and see clearly how you stood by me. Faithfully. Walking home from high school, thoughts filled his head. What had he done as the oldest son to frighten off his dad? And when his mom keeps crying night after night. He wants to say it'll end someday. I'm working to make it right. And he wonders how he'll make it, raising 2 kids and his mom feeling terrified. He sends out this prayer to God: faithfully, please stay with me and graciously give to me courage and strength to see this through. Faithfully, I'll wait on you and change my doubt to gratitude. And one day I'll look back and see clearly how you stood by me. Faithfully. Mother and son, both feeling stunned by the part they have to play to make it through each day. Burdens so huge, but I have faced them too, so I fully understand. When we help out where we can, one day they will say, oh, faithfully you stayed with me and graciously given me the courage and strength to see this through. And faithfully you walked with me, you gave me hope and dignity, and now I can look back and see clearly how you stood by me. Faithfully. Thank you. So we can make a difference in people's lives, right? And you think about communities, they're not all healthy communities. And so I want to look at 2 what I would call collaborative community building actions that communities can take on. And I'm pulling this again, some of this inspiration is coming from Elena Aguilar's book, Onward, that I used last week. So I'm going to talk about communication, and then I'm going to briefly touch on conflict. Yeah, don't get into the conflict too much, you know what I'm saying? But so communication, and the communication I'm talking about is really the idea, again, of honest sharing and honest listening. And last week I talked about cultivating emotional resilience through storytelling, which is a sharing of our stories to others. So that was last week, but now I want to talk a little bit about sharing of just your emotions. So I'm going to look at sharing first and then listening. Sharing your emotions with others actually is a very important action to take. To say, I'm feeling sad, I feel depressed, I feel left out, I feel excited, you know, I feel worthless, I feel, I'm kind of focused on some of the negative things because those are the things that get us down. So how do we move from I'm feeling worthless to I feel empowered, I feel worthy, I feel, you know, like I'm thriving, you know, that kind of thing. So, but I think, you know, you can read all sorts of books, but I was thinking about this and I came up with this. It was, maybe it's not a fresh idea, but it's a fresh idea in my mind, that sometimes I think it works when you say, I'm feeling sad, that works because when you name something, you are taking control of it. You're naming it. You go back even to when Adam and Eve, they named the animals or something like that, but the naming, it shows a little bit of some kind of, you have control of some sort over it. So I named my emotion. It's not naming me. I'm naming it. So it gives me some power or empowerment. I don't like the idea of power over something, but I think empowerment would be more of what I'm thinking about. And I think the other part of that is sharing emotions, and is then allow other people to hold your emotions for you. So when you share it with somebody, and I was thinking about a therapist that I had when this is after my divorce, and I was going through some really emotional stuff. I absolutely loved my husband, best friend. He came out of the closet, and then we waited some months and talked and did this, and then decided to go ahead and get divorced. And so it was all amicable. I remember us sitting on the ground going, okay, I want these 2 Christmas ornaments. Okay, I'll have these 2. I mean, it was just funny. I remember us separating our Christmas ornaments. So, but oh my gosh, the loss of my best friend. And yeah, so I was in therapy for a few years. It was really, really difficult. But I remember my one therapist, as I was talking, she just sat there like this. Well, she was sitting, so it didn't look so stupid, but but she just had her hands, I think, in her lap. And I knew what she was doing was she was holding my truth or my experience. That was my truth at the time, whatever I was sharing, is like she's sharing the burden with me. So I loved it. It was a powerful image, and I knew what it stood for. And so I appreciated it very, very much. That's the only part I want to touch on, because I talked about storytelling last week. So if you want to catch up on that, I think it's on Zoom, YouTube. Yeah. So, but I want to focus probably a little bit more of my time on the listening part. What'd you say? What'd you say? Right? And Elena Aguilar uses the expression or the term expansive listening in her book. Instead of restrictive or whatever, it's this expansive listening. And I love that idea of expansive, something that makes the world bigger or brighter or more open, right? And the biggest thing, and it's not difficult, is the idea that instead you're listening, you start to listen and ask questions. It's really the focus on asking questions. And it's not, well, I don't say it's not, I'm going to get to that in a minute, but it's asking questions to further understand. And sometimes by asking clarifying questions or asking questions to further understand, you're actually helping them dig deeper that they might not have done yet, right? So you're saying, well, tell me more. That's one of the best phrases. Just tell me more. So, why is it, and identifying, it sounds like you're having a hard day, or this is a hard thing. And so you are affirming their experience. And you are asking them to tell you more. And so you are connecting with that person, and it's super powerful. And they begin to share because they realize they're in a safe place. Now, you fixers out there, this is the hard one, because you want to fix it. You don't get to fix it. It's their experience, but you can come alongside them. And you actually change your thinking. It's like you are actually helping fix it by listening, by engaging them in conversations where they get to go deeper and they get to figure out what they want to do with their situation and how they want to overcome something or work their way through something. So you are actually part of the fixing, but it's not an active like, I got enough information and then I'm going to start telling you what to do. And most of the times we don't really have enough information. And then, and then they'll say like, but when people start doing buts, the double butts, that you don't have enough information. And so ask some more questions and then realize, no, just let it go. I love the idea of just releasing that you let go. You don't have to control the outcome. What you want for that person, you may not get. So let that go. What you really should want for that person, I don't want the word should, but one of the things you can want for that person is for them to find their way. And so again, by coming off as a place of, I'm here to help you find your way, or to encourage you to find your way, that you are again creating a safe place for them to continue to share. And the stories might come easier, right? And so that is a beautiful thing, but just releasing the wanting to, I got to fix this, or I want them to leave here feeling better. If you want that, listen, ask questions. They will start to feel better. I think the other one is, there is one time when I would say I step in, it's when people have the my fault thinking going on. So when you talk about people who victims of domestic violence, of sexual assault, even children who are going through a divorce, like in my song, right, where a child feels like, this is my fault, or I did something to deserve sexual assault or be the domestic violence. And that is when I think you totally can step in and say, this is not your fault. and so you can affirm that. That is something you can change, because even if they say, I feel like it's my fault, you could ask them, do you feel like it's your fault? Yes. Well, it's not. I'm telling you right here and right now, it is not your fault. You did not cause this. And so I think that is one time you can step in, and I think it's important to step in, because that helps with the healing in terms of being able to know that it's not their fault. And so if you have to say it more than once, it's okay. Just a sec. I brought my friend Alfredo, and he is over here, and I keep hearing him, and I think he has something to say. So I'm bringing him out. Yeah, yeah. Alfredo, what's going on? Well, I'm so sad. Oh, I hate it when you're sad. I know, it's so bad when I'm sad. Well, can you tell me about it? Yeah, I tried out for one of those TV cooking competitions, and I didn't make it. Oh, Alfredo, that is so sad. I'm feeling you, man. I know. Well, tell me more about this. Well, I always wanted to be on a competition, and I always ultimately wanted to have my own cooking show, like the Swedish Chef in Sesame Street. Well, that's a great dream. Yes, I know, it's a great dream. I'm not gonna make it. Well, Alfredo, is this the only chance that you get to do this? Well, no, but it's still so sad. I wanted to be on Top Chef, Be whipping out shrimp things in the Italian style. Yeah, okay. Can you move? I'm going to move this up a little bit just because I want to make sure, you don't start talking too much. Oh, yeah, right. Okay. Well, what do you think? Well, I do think that maybe your idea is right. There are other opportunities. I could try again next year. Work on my recipes and try again next year, but maybe I have an idea. I could start a blog on fancy snacks. Snacks you can make in minutes that are delicious, like dried shrimp on tasty, savory, cheesy cracker things with pepper on top. I need to work on it a little bit, but I think I can come up with something. Wow, Alfredo, that sounds like fun. I could even do TikTok, and I could maybe dance while I'm teaching. Well, you have other ideas. Yeah, I do. I have other ideas. Well, how are you feeling now? Oh, much better. Thank you for listening to me. All of you, thank you for listening to me. I'm feeling so much better. Yeah, Alfredo, that's fantastic. Yeah, hey, can you come over for dinner tonight? I'm making that pumpkin lasagna you love. Oh, I could do that. I don't know. Do you think that you all want to come over for dinner tonight? That Alfredo, your place isn't very big. I mean, it's big to you, but you're not that big. Oh, yeah. I barely can fit you in. Well, maybe another time you all can come over. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I'm feeling better. I'm Alfredo, like the sauce. Bye-bye. Alfredo is such a goofball. I just really like him. And that was so perfect. He came right in at the time to help me show you how to do active listening, to do, I use the words tell me more. And you see how he worked out his own stuff? I didn't have to tell him and say, buck it up, there's more opportunities. He'd still be, crying and stuff like that. So I love that. So when you think of communication, it's a mutual sharing and listening that go together, okay? And by doing that open and active, expansive listening, you help people, you help them with emotional resilience. It's not that, you realize it's not rocket science, right? Now, I'm not gonna say it's not hard, because for some of it, it's very hard, but we can start practicing just using that phrase, tell me more. If you can't think of any questions, just go, tell me more, I want to then, like I said, the second thing, communication was one, the sharing and listening. Second thing is conflict. And I said I'm going to do this briefly because it's conflict. Well, that's not why, I'll tell you in a minute, but why are we so afraid of conflict? Oh yeah, because emotions. There's a connection here. Conflict, emotions. If we didn't have emotions, we'd be like, oh, we just bust into conflict like, we're just busting through a yellow light. Fast, right through there, right? So it usually stirs up cruddy emotions, fear or anxiety. And then the principal says, Cindy, come into my office. My first thought is, oh gosh, what did I do wrong? And it says, and it's funny that I have that. I go, why are you doing that? You're like an adult. You teach very well. The principal wants to see you, and your first thought is, what did I do wrong? Let me just address this conflict in saying that. Conflict is around emotions. We can apply the expansive listening. We can go right back to communication of sharing and listening to deal with conflict. So I'm not giving you a new set of tools. I'm saying, let's go back and visit the same ones when you can sit down and you can say, hey, share. What's your experience? I'm listening to understand you. Tell me more. And then have that person do that with you. And you tell them, and you share. And all of a sudden, when you find that you're just sharing, a lot of times the stuff just dissipates. Now, I have, for some reason, this has gotten easier for me. And part of it's that the trick of not having to control a situation and releasing, again, the outcome, right? I'm not set on any particular outcome. So I remember a few years back when I started working at this school, I had done something and I knew I really had irritated a staff member. She's like the dean of students. And she's like, can we talk? And I'm like, sure. So she comes down to the room and she opens up the door and she comes in and she's like, and she says her piece. And then I go, okay, what would you like me to do differently? What happened to her? She went like this. What? She did not expect that because it's like she was telling me her experience and I just said, okay, yeah, I totally get that. What would you like me to do differently? And that conversation was just about, she said, and we moved on to something else. And I thought it was because I could have been defensive and showed her that I didn't mean to and what my intention was. And I didn't have to do any of that. I get that. What would you like me to do differently, right? Because I can do that. She wants something different in a situation. But I need to know what it is, right? Because I might do the same dumb thing again. But if I know what to do differently, then I can do it. So I'm going to close with the song called Start Something New. And it's just a reminder that love fits more as it's an action more than it is an emotion. So we talk about emotions, right? And trying to overcome them. But love is actually an action word. It's what we do. When we say, I love somebody, or you commit to a relationship, you're committing to loving them. You're committing to the action of loving them. Even on days you maybe don't feel real fuzzy about them, right? This is called Start Something New. And I'm going to close with this song. And Alfredo, if you need to sing along, you go ahead. No way. Okay, thanks. If I had 2 iPads, then I could just, Why is it hard to forgive people we rub elbows with? Why do we keep treading on the ones we love? Why is it tough to understand someone else so different? Why do we shake our heads at what's been said. Well, who would think we believe in love after what we say and what we do? I am grateful the power of love shines out for all to use. Start something new. Why is it tough to give up attempts to win each argument? Why can't we just let go, give up control? 'Cause who would think we believe in love after what we say and what we do? I am grateful the power of love shines out for all to use. Start something new. Start something new. Give up the fighting and let's give up the winning and embrace the ones we promised to love. Help out your neighbors, shower them with favors that you wish they would do for you. Start something new so they will know we believe in love after what we say and what we do. Yes, I am grateful the power of love shines out for all to use. Start something new. Start something new. Start something new. Thank you very much.
Excellent, beautiful. Thank you so much. Beautiful message too. That asking questions. I don't ask enough. It's time to start asking more questions and listening better. Thank you so much. Now it's time for our offering, a wonderful time to circulate. We get to circulate our energy, our wonderful energy that we earn and comes to us sometimes in unexpected ways, and we get to pass it on to the church and share. And so now if you'd like to take your tithes and offerings in your hands, if you have them with you, or just think about it if you've already given electronically. It's a wonderful way to do that, but hold that beautiful thought in your heart, and we'll bless our offerings. It's said that when we can give to what feeds us, if our heart has been fed here today, Unity in the Olympics gratefully receives all that comes through you, and that through you is the wonderful energy of money. And for those of you joining us online, we also accept love offerings on our website, www.unityintheolympics.org. And we are blessing you as well. Also, if you have a prayer request, please write it down and hand it in. And it will be confidentially held in prayer in the prayer box and prayed over for 30 days by our own beautiful prayer team and chaplains, and then it's then sent on to Silent Unity for another 30 days. And so it's such a wonderful, wonderful gift to be able to wing those on to other people to add to the energy of love and prayer. And now held in our hands or in our hearts, let us bless our gifts as we move them forward together into the oneness, saying, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I give in love.
Join me. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth. And who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. Do I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth. And who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. Let's do we. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth. And who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to the world. It's a blessing to the world.
Oh, we are a blessing, and we are so blessed to be here in our community of love, peace, and joy today, always enwrapping the gift of life. Thank you so much, Cindy, for being with us and sharing your love and your wisdom with us. And thank you to everyone who has contributed your abundant love and your blessings and your tithes. We really appreciate them, and we send them out into the world to do the work that we are here to do, the service of love in our community. And we also bless the prayer requests that come in. So if you have a prayer request, we have something you can write on and put the blessings, your requests for blessings in our prayer box, and we will pray over them here for 30 days and send them on to Silent Unity, where they will be prayed for another 30 days. And we know that even before we ask, Spirit already has answered. So we hold you in faith. And I love that image of holding each other. Yes, that was beautiful. So thank you. We love you. We bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Eva. And you'll be down the hall in the prayer room if anyone needs you. Thank you so much. Is this the one?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. No, I was getting a little feedback there. Sorry. We have a few announcements before we talk about Monday meditation. There's a couple of things. Of course, just staying in prayer for Charles and Pat today as they go forward with a bit of an emergency there. And we'll put them in the circle, certainly, as we get to that. And of course, our wonderful Cindy has been with us 2 Sundays in a row. Thank you so much, and I hope we see you again in the future. Yes, absolutely. Let's give her a hand.
Thank you.
And we've set up a table just outside the library, and if you'd like to purchase her CDs, she has 2 there. They're $10 each. They are fully orchestrated. It's her music, and she, of course, all the orchestration is done with it. And it is on a trust basis, so there's a bowl. You can make a check out to her and put it in, or if you have some money, just put it in there and take both or one, whatever. And we just, you could also go to her website at Cindy Akana at gmail.com, and she has, you can order from there. So thank you so much for sharing that with us today. I'm excited about getting Monday midday meditation is of course coming up tomorrow, and that is hosted by Reverend Donna Little and also prayer chaplains Sandra Blanchard and Tim West. So thank you for being a part of that. And that's at 12 noon on Zoom only. So if you don't have the link and you would like to have the link, here, please let us know, and we can get your email and make sure that you get the link to that. autumn intensive. This is a wonderful intensive that's going to start this week. And that is on the 26th through the 29th, right here in this auditorium. And so our own Judith Coates is founder and executive director of Oak Bridge, and as she has done for 31 years, we'll be channeling Jeshua ben Joseph as well as other Holy Family members over the 4-day workshop. And it is a very wonderful, intensive thing. Great energy going on, and it's right here in this beautiful facility. So for more information, check their website at oakbridgeuniversity.org, or see Judith, Eva, or Bill after the service today, and they can give you more information. There's also flyers in the community room on the table there. Next Sunday, BA returns back from, I believe it's Portugal, right? That's where he's been. He's been back from Portugal. So he'll be here to lead the celebration service and with his music and his message. And back in the office from Wednesday through Friday mornings and prior to the daily Oak Ridge Autumn Intensive. So he'll be here in the mornings, and then he's going to be a part of the intensive also. So you can get some more of his music during that time. A huge thank you to Cindy for sharing her wonderful spirit and music and message and for the past 2 weeks. And we do look forward to seeing you again. And please join us in the fellowship room, because you know what we have? We have soup. Star, you want to talk about that a little bit? Yeah. It really looks good. As she brought it in, I was there. Yeah. All right. So if you'd like to contribute in the future, she plans ahead. Unlike me, she plans ahead. And so he knows what we're going to be doing next week. And if you'd like to be a part of that and help out and bring a dish, a dessert, or a salad or whatever, then you can let Star know, and she can share with you what she's going to do. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. So food and fellowship. Don't forget, we get to visit with each other too during that time. So having food and fellowship, and fits right in with Cindy's message today. It's great. So join us in our closing prayers so that we may join together and also share our blessings and our prayers for the future. So yes, he is awesome. I'm gonna turn this off. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mhm. Ooh. Mm. Jesus. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. The health of God flows through us wherever we go. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God our Creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other